So, triple Loki from Lad. So Lad's key to success will be picking early villagers to kill. They're against the Zeus, Uranus, and Odin. I think that works out pretty well for him, with the Zeus being on the outside and Uranus being on the inside. I'd say the Odin is probably going to be the weakest early target for Lad, but we'll see. I'd like to see a triple. All of them go forward and triple somebody. I think might work pretty well, especially with the Zeus, who is probably going to be a little bit slower to help out on land. And Urt, who apparently has observers included in his chat, seems to think Hermes would be better in this situation for ceasefire, and I would be inclined to agree with him. If you can do a cease on an early triple, that would definitely give some required time for building up a defense. So I would anticipate seeing a Hermes from the Zeus player. Looks like they're looking for villagers to spy. So you're probably going to see, unless I'm completely off in my prediction, you're probably going to see some pretty quick advances from everybody. There's going to be a lot of hunt in the middle. It's pretty standard for frozen wastes. You got the hunt in the middle, you got goats that'll be hanging out on the ice for some weird unknown reason. I don't know, I kind of run out of things to talk about in the archaic age. There's not exactly too much excitement going on. Do you have a fairly forward town center from Hellenic? His third is pretty forward. Lad's forwards are kind of nestled together there in the middle. This town center is probably the most accessible of an enemy town center. The hunt looks fairly forward. Need to get a nice spawn with some berries next to the deer over here. And he's moved on to his walrus. Kind of interesting that he only ate a couple deer and then moved on to his walrus. So you got a temple being built. All three Lokis are building their temple now. And Odin's building his temple. I think Urt's probably going for the fastest advance. So with all three Lokis building back, that means that you probably aren't going to see a triple. It looks like they're all going to do the same thing, which is probably Forseti Hersier raids. I don't know, I feel like a Heimdall and two Forsetis, or like two Heimdalls and a Forsetis would have been a pretty good choice for for Lad, and then to do a 3 versus 1 rush on somebody.
I feel like that would have been beneficial.
Hellenic's got quite a bit of goats there. In fact, everybody looks like they kind of have a decent amount of goats. Except for Urt. There are a lot of goats on this map. And the hunt, there is a lot of hunt if you're bold enough to eat it. It is in the middle, which is kind of unprotected. Get a polar bear on top of a walrus, it's a little awkward. Advance times. A little bit after 4, about 4:40, Urt's got the first advance. There's a Loki villager there with the spy. That looks like the only one they've used. Yeah, so they all went up with Heimdall, or Forseti, I mean, not Heimdall. Ert building defensive. Early on, I would anticipate Lad to be on the aggressive and JSS to be defensive. So it's just going to come down to if Lad can get some good villager picks and get a few good decent triples with their what should be a more mobile army. See Hellenic, he is playing pretty defensive here. In fact, he's probably going to be done hunting once these are done. So just the threat of being rushed with Herseer is already pushed Hellenic off of hunt, essentially. Man, if they were to go over here, this would be a pretty decent early aggression already, just to force these two villagers back. Let's see if Aurelian finds these villagers. I don't think they have this hunt scouted. Ert's got a pretty decent army of Herseer. I'm kind of surprised to see a heavy Herseer group from Ert. I'd anticipate to see more Ulfsarks as opposed to Herseer. Yeah, they didn't. They're not going to find these vills, so pretty safe. And he did use another spy on
the Jason.
So for Loki, kind of it's a race to get your early speed upgrades. He does have the Eyes on the Forest. Nice Valkyrie raid here is pushing Aurelian off of hunt. He would have liked to probably go to these Walrus next. And you can see Green's pretty well behind in the military production. It looks like he's going for stables as Zeus, so he's looking for some Hippocon. T2's got a pretty decent army size already. A little bit of a raid coming in here. He's managed to kill a house. I would fight this if I were them. It's just one T2 here. Yeah, this is kind of the point of the game where Lad needs to get its advantage. Because mid to late game I would give JSS the advantage, just with the different civs, but so it's important for JSS, or I keep getting the clans mixed up, important for Lad to get an early advantage with some raids. So I did finally find these vills here. Make them go idle, forcing T2 to come back, this is a time where these guys need to all go forward and raid. You have a little Hippocon raid back here, but he's not going to find much. Maybe these vills over here, but they can just run through the gate. So right now, what Lad needs to do is realize, so Erd's army is here and T2's army is here. They need to come over here, which they're doing, and have pushed him back off of his berries. Harrow doesn't have much of an army. He's actually going for an early second town center, which is a little bit interesting. I'd say the general game plan is to do a quick heroic to get early flaming weapons, but this is a pretty decent town center from him because it's close enough to a lot of the hunt that it does secure it pretty well. I don't know why he's attacking this wall when he could just take 7 seconds and run around the wall, but do have a nice little raid coming in here with Ert's army out of position. The problem with Odin throwing Axemen Herseer is that they're just so slow. It's a very slow army to react, much slower than Herseer for set years here anyway. We do see Ert getting a town center in the back, and T2 as well. If Shelby made a beeline, he might be able to stop it, but it doesn't look like he's going to. Instead, he's fighting a pointless fight here. Do have idle villagers here. It's like they're sharing this gold mine. Aurelian, probably just to avoid having such a huge influx of villagers in the same mine, should have probably gone to this mine here. And Shelby should have gone to this mine. I mean, this mine is just right outside of his base. I don't know why he went all the way back to this one. Alright, so they did find this town center just to slow it down. This is a nice little raid here, just preventing the town center from going up. Like one key as you're doing Hersier raids is you're not necessarily looking for villager kills. Even if you just make them idle, it's pretty much just as good. So here, I mean, while you didn't kill any villagers, you did waste about 20 seconds of build time for that. Don't really see any aggression at all from JSS right now. This is a nice little pick here from Shelby. I don't know why he's running. He should stay here and fight it. That doesn't make any sense to me at all. Why did he run? I mean, he wasn't gonna like take over the place, but he could have delayed. And yeah, see, again, he's not killing villagers right now, but look at all these villagers that are doing absolutely nothing at all. That's 15 villagers that are just standing around. And we did see that Aurelian did age up, so he is in heroic, and you've got Shelby stealing a forward town center. So right now, Lad's done a pretty decent job with the aggression. Haven't done any real villager kills, but they have delayed Hellenic quite a bit. I mean, just look. I mean, he's got these villagers have kind of done nothing for almost a minute now, which that's huge. I would think if they focus, especially Harrow, if Harrow and Aurelian might be going fast mythic, yeah he is, because Aurelian doesn't have any military. So if they do a fast mythic, he's going through tier. A fast mythic tier flaming weapons on Harrow uses flaming weapons and attacks Hellenic, because might be a steamroll win. And we also got tier coming from Shelby, so you could see hypothetically, which is what I would do. Of course, I have infinite knowledge with the whole map. If Harrow attacks using flaming weapons, then you have two Thimble winners followed right one after another. I'm pretty sure Hellenic would fall pretty quick. Because the beneficial thing is with well, they might get unlucky, because I think Thimble Winner might be able to spawn with these town centers back here. Maybe, depending on how it... Thimble Winner's kind of a tricky, it's kind of a weird god power. So yeah, he needs to use flaming weapons pretty much now, and then have use Thimble... Yeah. Oh, they just Aurelian used flaming weapons. I would have liked to have seen them let Harrow get flaming weapons in before it, but yeah, I'm gonna say that has a huge advantage right here. I mean, if they get a double flaming weapons, or a double Thimble Winner flaming weapons, the only mistake is they should have let Harrow get his flaming weapons in first, but I understand there's a little bit of a difficulty with, you have to play around a ceasefire. So this did force a ceasefire. Now this is JSS's only ceasefire. Buys them some time, but yeah, I'm gonna have to say, unless JSS is able to hold back from this huge power spike, Lad's gonna get this. Just Hellenic is so far behind, and even Urt's pretty well behind too. And you look here, their back gold mine right here is depleted, so they're gonna have to go up here to a pretty vulnerable mine. You can see there's absolutely no aggression right now from JSS. Skirt used Frost. This is kind of a strange use of Frost. It's interesting. So we got another douse of Thimblewinter just to even further screw up Pekai. This is a nice spawn right here to fight along with Harrow. Again, I don't know why Harrow didn't use flaming weapons first and then go use that into Thimblewinter, but whatever. Urt does have a quick rag here. Kind of missed that in all the hubbaloo. I mean, it's a quick rag, but there's not a lot of them. Killed the town center. Harrow's kind of frustrating me right now a little bit with what he's doing. I feel if he would have used flaming weapons at some point and gone this way. You know, he's... Here's a third Thimblewinter, which sucks for JSS. 3 Thimblewinners. I mean, Harrow should have... He shouldn't have fought T2 here. He should have gone over and just steamrolled Hellenic. I mean, look at Hellenic. He's got nothing. Like, his flaming weapons here isn't doing much. I mean, all he's doing is killing a few Vermillo with his Ursier army. But uh-oh. Here comes the whole wolf raid on the gold miners here.
This is gonna hurt.
Use them. What are you waiting for? He probably is. Shelby's gonna lose his base, but even him losing his base, he's in a better position than Hellenic here. We got more Wolfies over here. Wolfies and packs of 5 are so strong. Like, they could finish off this town center right there, except that we got a Ursier coming back. So we use flaming weapons here, which isn't going to do a ton. Shelby doesn't have a very large army, so he's still going to lose this, but I guess really the key here is just to kill as many Ragnarok heroes as possible, because that's all Urt's got going for him, are the Ragnarok heroes. So yeah, this town center is down. Hellenic is kind of out for the count. So that'd be a real good pressure from JSS earlier, from Lad early on. Hellenic particularly was really slowed down, as you can see, and he just doesn't have anything going for him. A decent win over here for Urt, but unfortunately, with him going a quick rake, he's not going to have anything at all to follow this up as. And as we all know from Loki, Loki really doesn't even need a town center in Mythic in order to still cause problems. So Shelby's town is down, but he's in a much better position than Hellenic. And he's got 6 wolves just running around prowling, and essentially these wolves, well, they do have the Ragnarok heroes here, but eventually once they push through here, T2 isn't going to be able to hold off. Well, T2 is a great player. He's not going to be able to hold off a 4 town center Harrow. Units. Let's look at this. Does have some decent military upgrades. T2 not so much. He really needs to get the hack armor upgrade. I'm kind of surprised he doesn't have that. Hellenic doing his best to participate. He's thrown in a few Hippopus. Urt is doing a good job following up, keeping this aggression up. he's going to take this town center too. His only big mistake right now is he got, if he could just kill that ox cart, that would completely remove Shelby from any gold. I'm so surprised they just don't run in here with their wolves and kill this town center. 6 wolves take town centers down so fast, and it's already almost at half HP. Aurelian, he's kind of struggling for an unknown reason. He doesn't got much army going on right now. But yeah, you see Shelby's just taking back his forward town center. So really, once these heroes are dead, you're gonna see JSS fall pretty quick. They'd have a little more of a chance if Urt would have prevented all of this gold mining here, but got these wolves back here doing a pretty good job keeping Hellenic off of gold. Like, Urt has absolutely nothing. Like, he doesn't even have a single villager. Once this raid's done, it's over. And yeah, I mean, he's facing a 4-town center. T2's facing a 4-town center. Low-key. As Oranos, it's not going to end up well for him. Oh yeah, and then Urt just kind of, this is the end of his aggression here. I would have actually preferred to see him go back this way as opposed to up through here. So yeah, Urt doesn't have any military left. T2's going to find himself gold blocks, so I expect to see the resignations coming in pretty quick. Overall, a pretty good match from Lad. Just the early aggression on Hellenic just got him in just a huge hole, and they are never able to recover from there. So yeah, nicely played by Lad here in the second game. This ends up in a series, ends up in a 1-1. So JSS probably, I imagine, a little disappointed with the 1-1 result. Lad B, they can't be unhappy with the 1-1 against JSS. I mean, when you figure you're going 1-1 against a finalist from last season, you got to be pretty happy with the result. So yeah, kind of polar opposites. As Medit was just a complete steamroll for JSS, and this is pretty much a complete steamroll for Lad too. JSS holding on to the bitter end. Urt's got about 7 rigs left, so he's thinking he can still do something. All these ballista. Ballista pretty good now. Not a bad unit at all. Arrows at 6 town centers. Well, Aurelian is lagging really hard. So maybe if he disconnects, that's JSS's only hope. Oh, they're just gonna resign. Might as well. So anyway, that is today's stream. I don't know how the other games are going. I know Blackadder is streaming Keen versus Dade. I don't know if that's over or what the score is, so you might want to head on over to RTS League, the main channel, to watch that. So yeah, this game's well played by Lad here. The triple Loki on Frozen Waste really turned out well. Just kept the pressure up on Hellenic, and that's kind of the deciding point there. Is getting forced off Hunt early on and getting forced off this town center for so long really hurt him. I'm sure the post game's going to show it. His economy is way down. Yeah, his economy down, Ertz down, which that's because of the reg. But when you have a panic reg with only 50 villagers, it's not going to do a whole lot for you over time. So that's that. Thanks all for tuning in.
Hope the